Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another video of mine. I hope you're enjoying your Easter celebration wherever you are in the Pacific, in West Papua, or anywhere around the world. Yeah. Firstly, I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy Easter. And as we think of the love of God towards mankind, let us also be an agent of change by showing that love also to others, especially those in need and those who are struggling in life, and those people who are less fortunate than us. Anyway, I wanted to make this video to talk a little bit about something that I read last week, and this is about the story of a young West Papuan guy that was beaten severely by the Indonesian police at the local police station and later died. His name is Rico Ayomi. Maybe most of you would have seen his story on Facebook, which was posted by the Free West Papua campaign in UK. Anyway, yeah, it's really sad. Like I was reading and his story and how his right was denied, and he was beaten severely, and as a result, he died. And I was very concerned, especially with our young new generation now in West Papua, young men and women, coming up, growing up in a country where, which is, heavily militarized. West Papua, especially West Papua, is the only region in the Pacific, I would say. I think in the world, maybe, that is heavily militarized by Indonesian military, and our children are not been given that opportunity to grow up in a country where they can have that all the freedom and rights to live peacefully and on their own land. And this is the case we've seen in the past. Like a lot of young men and women are being beaten severely for little things which doesn't worth for them to end up at the local police station. And yeah, it seems like the Indonesian military and police seems to take law into their own hand, and they're becoming both judge and executor at the same time. So the people of West Papua basically do not have the rights and freedom to defend themselves. And with the current ban on foreign media and journalists to go into West Papua, it is make the situation more difficult. Um, at the moment, we're just relying on social media with the latest smartphones that our people have on hand. They're able to upload photos and evidence of what they see. And, this is where the world, especially, are beginning to find out about the current situation in West Papua. And we want to encourage our leaders, especially our regional players, major regional players in the region. It's about time for them to have a frank and honest discussion with the Indonesian government whenever they have the opportunity, to meet them. And let us, have some critical and constructive discussion on this issue, because the more we keep on sweeping this issue under the carpet or continue to ignore and deny it, the people of West Papua will continue to become victims on their own land, and basically their rights are, are, are denied, and they're living in such a time where they're being oppressed in many ways. And we basically want our leaders like Australia and New Zealand to start engage with the Indonesian government in a meaningful way, to take an interest in the issue, because um, the more we ignore it, Indonesian government will continue have its own way, doing all these sorts of horrible things to the people of West Papua. And come back to our regional players, sub-regional players like in MSG, and it's about time. Let's be honest. The issue with Papua, it's not different to the issue of the Kanaki people. We are people that is still been colonized by these foreign colonial powers. And with the issue of Kanaki people, well, they will be having their referendum soon, and we wanna wish them well, and believe that they will be able to make the right decision, and that's to free themselves from the colonial rule. And lately, I read a story, the news article on through Radio New Zealand International, and the Foreign Minister of Papua New Guinea, Mr. Roman Pato, actually made a statement saying that PNG supports Papua as being the integral part of Indonesia. Well, let me correct it and remind Mr. Rumbing Pato that Papua is not integral part of Indonesia. What happened in 1969, the illegal act of free choice, or in West Papua we call it the act of no choice, Papuans were not given that opportunity to decide what they actually want. And the evidence is there. What more evidence do you want? What happened in 1969? 1,025 Papuans were hand-selected or handpicked by Indonesian military and forced at gunpoint to say yes to become part of Indonesia. Does that give you any more evidence? Like, is that sufficient enough to warrant Papuans for a new and fair referendum? You cannot go blindly and saying that Papua is an integral part of Indonesia. That's damn bullshit. And let us be honest and be truthful. Let's not continue to deny and turn a blind eye. This is where it's wrong. Our leaders need to really understand that the Papuans, their rights were denied in 1969. They were not given an opportunity to express what they want. All this rush into getting this act of free choice done in early 60s, and what Indonesia did, organized together with UN to fast track this act of free choice. A lot of Papuans basically were not aware of it, and during that period, most of them were maybe illiterate, they couldn't read or write, so that they don't really understand the whole process. So for them to go and hand-selected or hand-pick 1,025 Papuan elders to represent the whole population of almost 1 million people, that is not right. Every Papuan, adult Papuans under the age of, over the age of 18 should be given an opportunity to participate in a genuine referendum. And that's what we want. If the Kanaki people can be given an opportunity to participate in an honest and fair referendum by the United Nations. That's exactly what the people of West Papua wants, you know. And let's correct the mistake of the past and put the record straight. Let's not beat around the bush and continue to deny and you know pretend that the problem never exists. The mistake was done, and let's correct it. And I think regional bodies like MSG and Pacific Island Forum have an obligation to help the people of West Papua and to take the matter back to United Nations. This problem. It's a problem that was created by UN, and some of these powerful players. They need to come back and look into this issue and fix it. The regional bodies like Pacific Island Forum, MSG, they can act as an agent for West Papuan people and bring their consent back to United Nations. And that's basically what we want. You don't have to do anything. What you do, you just take the matter back to UN and tell them, hey, you need to come back and fix this problem. This is what happened in 1969. You need to come back and fix it. And that's basically what the people of West Papua want. We need a voice. We need somebody to speak on our behalf. And I just don't really understand when our regional players like Australia and New Zealand can go and speak about the problems in the Middle East and in Africa, and yet the big problem that is happening right in front of them, they continue to pretend that it never exists, and continue to deny that it doesn't exist. So this is where sometimes there's a lot of hypocrisy about how we do things. We tend to pretend that there's a problem in the Middle East, and we send all our support and funds and equipment to support, to make the situation better over there. But hey, we have a problem in the Pacific, and that's in West Papua. It's right on our doorstep. How about let us once and for all fix the problem, And I think we've come to a stage where enough of all this, bullshit. Let's be honest. Let's talk the truth, and let's face the reality. Get the Indonesian government together, get the West Papuan leaders together, and let's come to a roundtable discussion. Ask the Papuan people through the representative what do they want. And I think we need to start to have some meaningful dialogue, not dialogue, but some meaningful discussion, and honest, I would say, discussion with the Indonesian government. And whenever our leaders, especially in the Pacific, if you have a opportunity or chance to meet the Indonesian delegation, let's not shy away. Let's be honest. Let's ask them if there is a way we can fix this problem. Indonesian government will not fix this problem. They don't have any solution to this problem. The only solution to fix this problem, the only solution that the Papuans see now, is to take the matter back to UN and let the UN intervene and deal with it. That's it. That's all we want. So, yeah, I was just reading about the story of this young man. It's really sad how he was denied that right and justice, and I hope the international organization like human rights groups will take an interest in this issue and begin to find a way to get those involved, especially the perpetrators of this crime, answerable to the actions. And yeah, this is it's very interesting how the issue of West Papua has been he's able to get some of these nations of the Pacific well, for us to really prove, especially for us as the West Papuan leaders with the issue of West Papua, we're able now to see which countries in the Pacific are really genuine and honest and kind in supporting us and which ones are not. And we can tell those who are great pretenders, they're only there for money, and because of the economic situation, they wanted the support from the Indonesian government. But hey, if you're getting any support and money from the Indonesian government, remember there is a case behind it, because whatever that has been given to you by the Indonesian government, it's a blood money, and there is a case behind it. Then be very careful. I probably would get the aid from the Australian and New Zealand government, but not from the Indonesian government, because I don't want to put the case on my own people. So just be careful on that. At the moment, the way we can see now, the Indonesian government is going across the Pacific with this cheap checkbook diplomacy and trying to, convince the leaders of the Pacific, to support them on the issue of West Papua. But hey, we have to be wary and be mindful of our actions, because we don't want to bring chaos on our own people. If Indonesian government can go around and handing millions of dollars to these little countries in the Pacific, well, they have their own problem back in Indonesia. There's millions of Indonesians, poor Indonesians, who are sleeping underneath the bridge and who are living in slums in Jakarta or throughout Indonesia. Not in Papua, we are okay. In Indonesia especially. And yet, they can feed their own people, and then they're going overseas, especially to the Pacific, handing out these millions of dollars. This is where we need to start questioning them whether they're really genuine in the interest to support the countries of the Pacific. And as far as I know, they are not. They're only there to stop the countries of the Pacific to support the people of West Papua in their push and the fight for freedom in their own land. That's the only interest why they want to become part of MSG, why they want to be involved in PIF and all these regional bodies that we have in the Pacific. And it's sad that some of these countries continue to support them and continue to think that Indonesia can continue to continue to rule the people of West Papua. But the fact that it's not going to happen that way. If it's God's plan for the people of West Papua to be free, then whatever hidden plan and motives that you have, it will not work, because the people of West Papua will be free one day. And let's start be honest and be truthful in what we say, and let's start to have a frank and honest discussion with the Indonesian government in regards to the issue of West Papua. Yeah, and once again, thank you for watching my video, and I hope you are enjoying your Easter, and take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you another time. God bless.